Hey, what's going on? Welcome back to my channel. I hope y'all doing well. We here with episode 8 of Only You. Hopefully a lot of things get resolved in this episode. If you want more from me, please don't hesitate to subscribe and share the video and click the bell button to get notified when I post. Now, let's go. We jump right in with Tawan and Ayla meeting and hugging because Tana got a phone call and left the room. Katu does also, so Tawan and Ayla can hop into bed. It's the next day, and Tana is speaking with somebody that works for Ayla's boss. He tells her Ayla's not ready to work. She like, I don't care. I'm being blamed for postponing Ayla's jobs. Plus, the fans and the reporters came out to our office every day to find out where Ayla is. I'm like, I completely understand this lady right now. They getting hounded by everybody, and Ayla already agreed to these events, so she has to show up. And they losing money on top of that. Dana is being a hindrance to both the record company and Ayla, cause how's she getting paid just sitting around? Dana calls Ayla to sit down and talk. He explains that someone from the record company came to see him, wanting her to return back to work. He continues, I'd promised I'd let you go back to work, even though I can afford to buy out your contract. I'm like, the one thing I noticed in this TV show, everybody got money and will use it to force, hinder, or scare whoever they want. Like, damn, can y'all just not operate like normal folks? Anyway, he says, you'll get to go back to work and live the way you used to, but you will be protected by this team of bodyguards at all times. If I'm told you're in contact with Tawan again, I will destroy everything myself. So think about what you want to keep. I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't imagine getting grounded and stop from making my coin all cause a fuck ass feud that ain't got nothing to do with me. That shit would have me on channel 6 for real, for real. Back to the story. We with Mac and he asking if some plan will work cause last time it didn't go well. The guy like, don't worry, the folks that are helping this time are good. They never fail. Cut to Thana at a construction site reading blueprints. An unsuccessful drive-by occurred. He's fine, but needs to call to see if Ayla is okay. She is okay, by the way. Typhoon informs Tawan of the situation, saying Thana has been shot at, but his protection acted first. He's safe, and asks, do you think it was a warning shot? Tawan's like, based on our intel, there's a bid for a project in the burbs next month. Thana's company won't miss putting in their bid. Typhoon says TR Development is usually the front runner. Tawan's like, tell the team taking care of Island to raise the protection level, and if they need our help, we're ready to support them. We at the house with Tawan and Ayla. Tawan is making small talk, asking about how busy Ayla's been at work. Ayla is like, I'm preparing for a concert, in and out of meetings for a new song, and filming a TV show. Tawan is obviously concerned, and Ayla senses it and asks, you okay? You look stressed. Tawan says, I'm both worried and protective. I'm worried now that I'm not protecting you myself. Then tells Ayla to promise she won't be stubborn and difficult and will obey your security detail. Ayla's like, alright, I promise. Tawan is relieved. They chilling and shit when Tana comes into the room. He tells Tawan to get out, then pulls her towards the guards and tells him to get her out of his house. They try, but like, nah, never mind. Ayla had enough and tells him that she will be with Tawan. The guards get Ayla per Tana's request. She's putting up a fight that inadvertently gets her hurt. Tawan hears Ayla and beat the shit out the guard, then wants to know if Ayla is hurt. Dana is fed up and grabs Ayla while Tawan is still holding her and tells Tawan to leave Ayla alone already and wants the guards to get Tawan out. He'll fire the whole company. Dana rips their hands apart and Tawan is escorted out the room. Dana is still on Ayla's neck, saying, since you chose to break the promise you gave to me, I have to keep my word. From now on, you do not step out this room. Until you can convince me you won't see that woman again. He goes searching for the device that Ayla used to communicate with Tawan. He finds it and says he's very disappointed in her, then leaves the room. I'm like, sir, I get you mad because she's sneaking around and broke her promise, but you also need to be mad with yourself because you got enemies and rivals that wants both of y'all out of here. That ain't got shit to do with Isla. Again, I don't understand this big reaction, Dana, because up until now, you know Isla always got what she wanted. Cause you spoiled her. Now you mad cause she sneaking around and creeping. She grown and has always got her way. What the fuck you mad for? Tawan is handling it the usual way by working out. You know she gotta be real pissed off. She out here working in jeans. This shit is wild. Now to the night. He's asking the staff to keep checking on Ayla cause she still ain't fucking with her. Jump back to Tawan. She wants to know what all the commotion about. And bitch, it's Ayla. Y'all, this girl don't never stop. She constantly gonna get her way anyway. It's Ayla, y'all. She runs and hugs Tawan, PDA galore, whatever. Y'all like, sorry, I don't want to interrupt y'all, but you won't yell at us later, right? Typhoon says you're not gonna ask how Ayla got out. Ayla spills the beans to Tawan, saying, I escaped to see you. I climbed down like you did, and the guards helped me out and drove me over here. Tawan ain't think that shit was funny and tells her team to make Chanan punish the guards because they neglected their duty as Isla's bodyguards. In other words, you indulged Isla's wants instead of doing your job. Tawan and the company will take full responsibility. Then Tawan tells Typhoon to arrange for the two guards to work here from now on. Then she thanked the guards for getting Isla there safely. Like, yep, they got Isla there safely even though she wasn't supposed to leave. Damn, I know Thana is fuming. All this security and shit, and Isla still does what she want. Man's got to be sick. All that yelling last night for nothing. I'd be pissed too. Tawan asking Isla a good question. Won't Thana be angry? She like, of course, but I'm so mad at him right now. I'm not ready to even talk to him. So, Tawan, can you take me away somewhere far that my dad won't find me? Tawan like, yeah, sure, I can do that. Give me a minute to get my stuff. The team calling Tawan. Nana says, are you really doing this, boss? Tawan says, sure. She taking Isla on a trip for a few days before she brings her home. So find a way to send word to Nana that Isla is safe. I'm like, not both of them indulging themselves because they want to be together. They a mess. They at Tawan's apartment now. Isla looking at the rain chasers hung up. Then says, this is a sunroom with so many moons. They kiss. Ayla calls Tawan's name and asks, can't we really run off together? Tawan like, I think you already know the answer to that. Then says, I don't know what tomorrow brings, but my love for you will never change. So do you trust me? Ayla like, I do. And we'll never let go of each other. No matter what my dad says, I won't give up. So where are you taking me, Tawan? Tawan tells her, where you want to go? I can take you anywhere. I like, for real? I'd rather just stay in the bed and do nothing with you, Tawan. Tawan talk about, don't just do nothing. We gotta find something to do. Ayla asking, what should we do? Now, Ayla, you know what Tawan trying to get into. Be for real. Come on now. Cut to a montage of Tawan and friends giving Ayla tips and tricks on how to properly protect herself. Then they play a very real and intense game of capture the flag. Now, I want to play Call of Duty. Let me hear you. They at Tawan's safe place and they being coupley and shit. Tawan gets a video call from the team informing her the sources say Dana has given information to the cops and the evidence has been collected from the crime scene, but they are still investigating. Also, Dana has enhanced our security systems. As for the suspects, they used the fake license plate so it can't be traced, and the CCTV footage isn't clear, making it even harder to track them down. Tawan wants to know about the record company. They ain't got nothing to report. The team is concerned about Isla. Tawan's like, yeah, I know she's still exposed right now. Grounding someone as stubborn as her is pointless. She'll just climb down the balcony again. Tawan is through with the call and gets in bed. Y'all, I never been camping a day in my life. But y'all, how the hell do you got a bookcase in the tent? I go camping if it was something like this, but other than that, never mind. Tawan wakes up Ayla. Ayla like, girl, you got up too early. I don't want to wake up yet. Tawan says, I'm the sun. The sun wakes up early. Ayla talk about, I'll be the moon that sleeps in. I'ma still a kiss. Ayla's fine with it because she sleep talking anyway. Tawan eventually does steal a kiss. They having a meal, and Ayla wants to know what training Tawan has planned for her today. Tawan says, "Can I take my girlfriend out on a date like normal people do?" Ayla is happy about that because she is sore everywhere from the training yesterday. Tawan takes her to drumroll to the amusement park like she been wanting to go for ages. They play games, ride rides, and then eventually sit down and talk. Ayla says she wants to stop time here where only them two exist. However, I want to show off Tawan so the whole world knows she's hers. Tawan asks the most sincere question. Am I good enough for you to show off? Ayla's like, of course. Why? Tawan tells her she's a mistress daughter. We in her flashback. Shortly after Tawan was born, her mom got sick and passed away, leaving her all alone. Her dad's wife and brother ain't fuck with her at all. But her dad did try for all of them to get along. Tawan was bullied at home during them years. Mac kicked the ball at Tawan. then told her to retrieve it because she's an athlete. She kicked that ball right back at him, as she should. Bruh, I promise Mac wouldn't have survived at my house or my cousin's. We was constantly thumping as kids, like constantly. Men's would have fled. He'd have fled for sure. Back to that day, Tawan's room got trashed, and Mac's mama comes to rescue him. She come calling Tawan a brat and shit, and demanding Son Claude to reprimand her. He asks, what was the fight about? Mac come with some bullshit story about his watch missing and searching her room for it. Nah, bruh, you trashed her room. You didn't just search, you trashed that room. Tawan's like, was you there to find the watch or destroy my room? His mama tells Tawan to shut her mouth because apparently Tawan runs around picking fights. Son Claude says it's just a fight between kids. The wife talking about, look at our son's face and her face. Who's bruised more? Bruh, I'm not gonna lie. I would have divorced this woman instead of stepping out of my marriage. But I see why. Your voice is so grating, and Tawan's mama was too fine. And you don't find any wrongdoing when it comes to Matt and his behavior. But again, why would you when you spend all your day hating on Tawan? I'm not shocked. Claude asks, did you find the watch? Mac looking all sheepish says, yeah, I did. He asks, where? Mac trying to come up with an answer, but the mama interjects and is like, so he found it. You still gotta punish Tawan. She assaulted Mac. Claude tells Tawan to apologize. She like, nah, I'm not in the wrong. Mac is yelling adamantly that Tawan is in the wrong. Tawan is fed up and says, wanna check the CCTV footage to see who started it? Mac like, alright, let's do it. The wife calls Tawan out of her name again. Claude tells her, look, my daughter has a name. Call her by it. She rejects that and says, cause she's a mistress daughter. Me letting Claude raise you in this house has been way more than you deserve. Claude like, damn, well, what do you want me to do? The wife responds with, kick her out. Send her far away. I don't want to see her face again. Tawan is over it and is like, fine, I leave and never come back. The wife says, okay, good, leave. I'm like, this lady got my blood boiling and her spirit irritates the fuck out of me. She out here acting like a fucking dictator. I'm done, bro. I hate them type of parents. Out of the flashback, Tawan finished up the story saying, I went to live with my aunt and her husband in Hong Kong. Ayla asks, how was it living there? Tawan's like, I worked and studied at the same time. It wasn't challenging at all, but it was lonely. My aunt and her husband didn't have any kids, so they adopted me. I took the opportunity to change my last name. Then, when both of them passed away, I came back to start over in Thailand. Ayla comforts her with words. I believe your aunt and her husband would be very proud of you for getting to this point all by yourself. I'm very proud of you, Tawan. You're the best in the world. I think I won't be able to find anyone like you in my life. Ayla continues. If you're worried about people thinking you're not good enough, get rid of that thought. If someone speaks ill of you, I'll protect you and punish them myself. Tawan's like, wow, my girlfriend is so lovely. They back at the campsite, they making out. It's morning now, and Tawan is making Ayla breakfast. Ayla wakes up, says thank you. Tawan grabs her phone. Ayla says she don't want to go back home. Tawan's like, I gotta keep my promise. Ayla tells Tawan she's afraid that her dad will ground her again. Tawan's like, I'm sure he doesn't want to see you climbing from the balcony again. Ayla just hopes he'll give in soon. Tawan calls the team. They like, Tawan, check your messages right now. They sent a video of Tawan and Ayla on the date at the amusement park. Nana says, just to say, a lot of reporters are waiting outside of Ayla's house. Tawan's like, alright, gotta go. And it ends just like that. Y'all, they have one day together, one day in public together, and that was their downfall. They should have just stayed in Tawan's apartment. To be honest, that would have been fine. But I guess they got tired of being indoors. I think the wife and Mac came up with that bullshit story about losing a watch just to get Tawan up out of there. I'm so tired of them. It's cool that Tawan let the guards who helped Ayla escape come work for her. Yeah, they still need employment, but they shouldn't indulge Ayla. But you happy they did too, Tawan. Don't act all tough like that. I wish Son Claude had a backbone when it comes to that wife, but he can hold a grudge with Isla's dad. Shame. Get your house in order, sir. I hope they don't get harassed by the reporters when they go back to the house. But that's all for today. If you want more from me, subscribe and comment below. Be safe. Later, y'all.